value as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be quarterbacked by Jared Goff, a third-year man out of Cal and the Novato, California native.
It always comes down to the talent of a player first, but never underestimate what good coaching can do for you as well. How about Jared Goff, 0-7 as a rookie to 11-4 in an NFC West title in his second season? The arrival of Sean McVay and his staff, they really jumped up his game. 28 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in 2017.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now on second down, this is Gurley. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I'm eager to take a look at wide receiver Brandon Cooks because I love a guy who can go deep and catch the football. And what he did in 2017 with the Patriots and Tom Brady, 16 catches, over 20 yards each, averaged nearly 17 yards per catch for the season.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, here's Goff. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. But here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw is gone. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Drew Brees bringing out the New Orleans Saints offense. They're coming off a 30-20 win against Minnesota. Now 6 straight victories. And although Brees did throw his first interception of the season on his 232nd pass, he was as sharp as ever.
18 of 23, 120 yards and a touchdown. So his accuracy never in doubt. But I loved what he told the team in pregame. Because, Drew always has that huddle. And he gives that last message to the team. It's something we've heard before, but not in this context, right? What did he tell them?
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yes, Sensei. So through 7 games, Drew Brees, 77% of his passes completed.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
On 2nd down, Kamara. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Brees now on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well.
Here we go. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Yellow lady.
Shotgun now for Brees. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, here's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And this is caught at the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll run here with Ingram. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. The defense here for the Rams.
And how about picking up cornerback Marcus Peters in a trade from Kansas City back in February? 3 years in the league, has 19 interceptions, and 55 passes broken up. Not only does he have great instincts, but he has the confidence to act on them.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Samson Abukum in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, a chip shot here. His kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rams taking the field here with that 8-0 record, their most recent victory over Green Bay, 29-27. 8-0 for the second time in franchise history, CD. Do you know the other time?
1969, head coach George Allen. The Rams went 11-3 that year.
They did indeed. And Jared Goff, if you're talking about that 8-0 record, one of only 2 quarterbacks under the age of 25 in the Super Bowl era to lead their team to an 8-0 start. And his hand is up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know who that other quarterback is?
Dan Marino with the Miami Dolphins.
You're 2 for 2. You rarely miss. Now a play fake here on first down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A shotgun snap for Goff. Dumps it off to Gurley. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Throwing again is Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a 1st down. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Again, Goff. And this is incomplete. Gerald Everett is tight end, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
2nd and 10. Goff again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Goff throwing again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards the gain for number 18. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And his throw is incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. And it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Out of the gun. Goff. Over the middle. That's hauled in by Kupp. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. It's a 3-point game here early. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Goff now looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on fourth down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Earlier in the broadcast, Charles, we mentioned the win for New Orleans last week over the Vikings. Now 6 straight wins for New Orleans. Are they a true contender against the Rams vying for the NFC crown?
They certainly are because they can run the heck out of the football with Kamara and with Ingram. I think their offensive line continues to get better and better, a nice mix of veterans and youth. The defensive front plays the run as well as anyone in the league, and the secondary continues to patrol when the ball's in the air. So I think that they are a team that matches up very well stylistically with the Rams. And also mentally, they believe that they're as good as they are, and they want to go ahead and prove it.
Well, we're going to find out this week because these two teams, the Rams and New Orleans, they go head-to-head week 9. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Ready? You waiting?
From the gun, it's Breeze. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, Charles, it's hard to believe we're already at the halfway point of the season, less than 100 days now until Super Bowl 53. Right now, Chiefs-Rams, they appear to be so good, but give me one other contender in each conference that could press them.
Well, let's start in the AFC. If you're going to give me a strong contender or have me pick a strong contender, you never take New England out of it. And don't forget, New England has the victory over Kansas City, albeit at home in New England. But still, Tom Brady and the Patriots, never count them out. If you want to pick a dark horse team out of the AFC, how about the Los Angeles Chargers? Phillip Rivers and crew throwing it around. They'll get Joey Bosa back a little bit later in the season to help provide better pass rush. If that happens, they can compete with anyone. If I flip it over to the NFC side, New Orleans right now is a very strong contender, playing very well on defense, and Drew Brees is flinging it like crazy, and Alvin Kamara is running it and catching it. But how about this for a dark horse? The Seattle Seahawks. They're back to playing Seahawks football, running the heck out of it on offense. Russell Wilson now guiding your football team, and a young, hungry team wanting to establish their own bona fides.
And on a little 2-game winning streak now at 4-3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dante Fowler in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
You waiting?
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They needed 15. They got 16 and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Ready. You waiting? Doing shot.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And Watson has it right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready. You waiting?
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And that's caught by Smith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 30 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Goff. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Ram first down as Goff finds Kupp.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Now Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ready. We're waiting.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
From the 21, it's second and 10.
Ready. We're waiting.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him Take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
The Saints on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Ready. Waiting. Set.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Dante Fowler in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, here's Goff. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. So after the INT, it's Breeze. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw, it's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready. Double waiting. Clear set. Clear set.
On first down, Breeze. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. After the interception, here's Goff. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 45. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Watson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down, and that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 1st down, Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Goff. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Throwing again is Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Goff. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd and 10, Goff. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Rams on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Zerline's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. The return man is Hill. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Ready? You waiting?
Breeze now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watson. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. To throw on second down is gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. The dangerous Hill now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready. You ready? Push it.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Dante Fowler able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Ready. Yellow weighty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Ready? You waiting?
From the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, gone. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game. But here we are in the 2nd half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Good move by Gurley, and he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now a handoff for Gurley. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This will be from 49 yards out. And Zerline's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. The return man is Hill. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Watson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
1st and 10. Here's Breeze. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara, and he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Here we go.
Breeze now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
We got 3. Ready. You waiting?
A give. This is Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Ready. You waiting?
Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Samson Abukum not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Breeze. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And it'll bring up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze going to throw. Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Early down stuff should put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, here's Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a fourth quarter lead. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
One universal in football, when it's a kicking situation, are you kicking a field goal, an extra point, you're punting, you never want to hear a second thud. That means the block has occurred. Imagine being the guys on the bench right now, the defensive unit. They thought they were going to get a cushion when they went back out on the field. That's no longer there.
They had the chance to take a second-half lead, but the special teams unit, they said, not on our watch. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe.
And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. Aaron Donald in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw, it's Brees. Room past the 20, and Thomas has it as he'll take it all the way up to the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
From the gun on third down, Brees. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken at the 23. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams getting set to go now. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. A shotgun snap for Goff. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. To the air again. Goff. And his pass incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Throwing again is Goff. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. On the handoff, it's Gurley. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's going to get it running right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Oh, pardon me. That play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Got stopped, would have liked the touchdown, but hey, field goal gives you the lead, and let your defense do the work.
The one thing to keep in mind, though, the field goal is not automatic. You've got to make sure you protect your kicker here so you don't have a block, which turns into a big play. But you're exactly right. Kick it, rely on your defense. This is the proper play here in this situation.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. The dangerous Hill now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Ready.
Here's Breeze to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. Catch here, left side, Thomas. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Ben Watson was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready. We're waiting.
On first down, Breeze. Caught by the tight end, Watson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Now Breeze again. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Ready. Waiting.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. First target, first catch, and a first down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Longacre not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Ready. You ready?
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Hey, ready. Yellow lady.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Yellow lady.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Matt Longacre in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead out in front at 13-12. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Alex Okafor in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Goff now looking to throw. They got a man. It's Woods. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. He'll look to throw. Pass incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
They'll look to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Gurley. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Goff now to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. A.J. Klein in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And he got it. He splits the uprights from 50 yards out. And the Rams have won the game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.